advocating, defend yourself, protect yourself, defend your people and the rest of that. 10 years ago, the Fulani oligarch, the terrorists led by the now dead Boko Haram, they did everything to make you feel like alerting you of the danger coming, which majority of us are now wallowing in, right? Alerting you of this coming danger was a treasonable felony, and demanding for a peaceful, referendum where, Nigerians can decide if they still want to be part of Nigeria or not. Now things seems like going or moving faster now. Now that the Americans are now interested in the ongoing long systemic genocide that the APC, Egbekegbe, has been supervising in Nigeria. So things are about to get more, right? So Miyeti Allah will leave that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for a sec. Miyeti Allah, who happen to be the sworn enemies of, who made the IPOB their sworn enemy. Because IPOB was like, Miyeti Allah, Asao now. Why would the Fulani others become the security of vigilantes, protecting us in the southern Nigeria? Like, what kind of a BS is that? So Miyeti Allah wanted Nnamdi Kanu killed. Miyeti Allah wanted the IPOB proscribed, while the Fulani terrorists are running rampage all over the place, kidnapping, killing, and pillaging. So now that Donald Trump has fired the warning shot, not like literally, okay, fired the warning shot, the warning shot that the Nigerian government, who are now very much indicted in protecting the terrorists in Nigeria, while activists are being jailed. So among the list they are currently drawing up in Washington of those they believe are terrorist sponsor in Nigeria, apart from your clerics, state governors, federal government officials, and so many other people that you have no idea, Bureau de Change, who are doing all the money transfers and the rest for them as well. They are drawing this long list of those that will become America's priority and target. Those who they will get physically, and those that they would actually place sanction on and get economically somewhere else. So Miyeti Allah is one of them. All of the atrocities of the Miyeti Allah, the terror they represented under the cover of Fulani herdsmen in the days of Boko Haram, right, seems to be catching up, as Nigeria is currently now more or less like proscribed as a terrorist country, fortunately, right? And it may sound somehow because Trump said it, but before Trump, Nigeria has already been designated as the terrorist capital of the world. Nigerians have been, in year 2021, 2022, Nigerians were adjudged to be the most terrorized people in the world, most terrified and terrorized people in the world. So now that America is kind of showing up and everybody is putting up their own different show, defense and all of that, right? Yet I don't cry out, say, Trump, not be all of, they actually said that, said, it is not all of us that are terrorists. There are professionals among us. Please don't target us. We support you going after the terrorists among us who have now started, who have resorted into criminalities and all that. But if the entire Miyeti Allah is proscribed as a terrorist organization, which is going to happen very soon. So if Miyeti Allah is proscribed as the terrorist organization, just like the Fulani terrorists are currently described as the fourth deadliest terrorist organization in the whole world, the Fulani terrorists. I didn't make that up. It's true, right? So Miyeti Allah that has been speaking for them, threatening the people, threatening state governors, threatening the people in their regions that they would have to accept, Miyeti Allah actually publicly threatened the people of the Middle Belt. And they said the violence was never going to stop as long as the people of the Middle Belt failed or continued not to part with their lands. Plateau State to Benue State to Taraba State to Yobe State to Niger State to all this like center like that, on and on like that. So Miyeti Allah became prominent, notoriously prominent, that they were issuing like press conferences, right? That government was Bokwari's government was actually like supervising at the time. They will call press conferences and they will threaten the entire southern Nigeria, by the way, when the southern governors said they wanted to do what was that? Ban open grazing, all right, to stop the movement of cows on foot, right? Yet Yala was everywhere issuing threats. And the more these governors remained adamant of like stopping this movement of cows, the more the violence escalated, right? And all through this time, Baba, these guys were living like kings. But you know something? When Tifnubu came in, unfortunately, they arrested their leader. He's still in prison right now. So the one that is saying is their representative, right, is begging Trump.
What is Miyetti Allah? Miyetti Allah is a group of foolies. So in this group of Fulanis, we have professors, we have students, we have herdsmen, we have doctors, we have governors. We also have terrorists inside, or let me say bandits inside among them. So if Donald Trump would say, or if America said they have sanctioned Miyetti Allah, they mean that they sanctioned the entire Fulanis or what? That is where we are not clear, because it's just a group of people that they came together. So if Donald Trump would just go ahead and said he has sanctioned the sponsors of terrorism, if Donald Trump would said he has sanctioned the bandit, we are going to take serious. But to him to say he sanctioned Miyetti Allah, did Donald Trump really know what Miyetti Allah is? I don't think that man knows. He don't even know what Miyetti Allah is. What is Miyetti Allah? Miyetti Allah is
1 and 2 in the next 3 days. Here, here, here. And
no here na cross river abi Ekureku, see Sokoto, Jos, Taraba. Now the main target be this Aso Rock.
which is this?
Here, Aso Rock. Yes. Now here, the main terrorist day.
Yeah. 1 and 2 in the next 3 days. Here, here, here. And
no here na cross river abi Ekureku, see Sokoto, Jos, Taraba. Now the main target be this Aso Rock.
which is this?
Here, Aso Rock. Yes. Now here, the main terrorist day.
Yeah. 1 and
Why are you running? Why are you running?
So it was more or less like Miyetti Allah, because primarily I don't even understand what's in concern Fulani, the Fulani herdsmen and America. Let me see that they look for visa or anything. You get me now. However, they understand that if America should escalate this like it's being projected, they begin to target them one by one. Nobody's safe with that. Here you get Miyetti Allah and their leaders who are living like one this. I mean, how many of you remember that the president of the Miyetti Allah, the guy actually moved like a minister in Nigeria? No, he moved like a governor in Nigeria. Yeah, he drives this massive SUV, latest, right? And he's got his own convoy. He's got this security convoys that drives ahead. Those are like kind of like from behind. And they said this is Miyetti Allah. Ah man, Bokwari. Oh, I have to say, hell, the Bokwari supposed like they're born forever, man. It's just that it won't change anything. Man, the impunity of that time. Whatever you are seeing Teknubu and this gang doing right now, sometimes you think is probably going to dwarf what Bokwari did. That is what is called the Stockholm Syndrome. You know what I mean? Like, you would think you would never encounter something as worse as Bokwari. So while you are trying to take a breather, right? Then Teknubu happened. Now they take your breath away again. Oh my God, you have taken my breath away. Baba, they will take your life away. With all these things that will overwhelm you so much that when you look back, you just be like, I can't even remember that Bokwari time anymore. Because it's like from one endless shege to another endless shege. It's just endless. Yeah? But look at Miyetti Allah now. Miyetti Allah is afraid. Even the Sultan of Sokoto was summoned to Aso Rock today, as well as even a Bishop of Abuja, because the impression they are still pushing is that, listen, this whole thing is not about religion, okay? Right? But this afternoon.
Village chief. Yusuf. Yes, sir. He's a village chief. Yes, sir.
So they needed that for optics, like they will say, look at the Sultan of Sokoto, look at all of them. And do you know that I actually imagined what their conversation would be like? Kalu hasn't really said anything meaningful, right? So imagine when the Sultan of Sokoto gets to his office and they're like, the camera is off. And maybe the Sultan of Sokoto will be asking him that, Mr. President, what is this? What are we going to do about this Donald Trump? And Kalu in the usual way was just like, whoa. It's, Donald Trump, American president. Oh, Trump. Oh, no, don't worry yourself about that. Don't worry. We are on top of that. Because it was so fast enough that I think they went to UMAT together after meeting, because it was pretty much so fast that they couldn't have had any meaningful conversation. Here you get, because a lot of them are pretty much afraid of mentioning Trump so far. And they said that you have this weekend. After this weekend, because the killing still continues. The report of people still being killed from Benue to Plateau, right? Even to the heartland of the Sharia North, Sokoto, Katsina, and all these places. Even Kaduna, Zamfara, the killings are still ongoing. They are not like beating, even though their new chief of army staff that Teknomi just appointed visited one of their formation in Borno, according to this video.
This is your own time. Are you assuring me that you do your best?
Yes, sir.
All combat enablers have been provided for you to succeed. And I bet you will succeed beyond your own expectations. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So,
just go ahead and get rid of these guys. Like you don't really need America, I think. Go ahead and clear them, but nah. They're spending more money on the social media influencers and trying to change the narratives. But for now that they haven't heard from Trump, it's going to give them a kind of like breathing space for a few days until Trump speaks and everybody begins to run helter-skelter again. Right now, it is believed that Trump is not going to issue any money anymore. What's going to come next is in the next few days, right? If the killings continues, right, is going to be an announcement that something has already happened, carried out. There are reports that some of these terrorists are beginning to move to Cameroon and the rest of that. That is also APC propaganda. They are planting different news in there just to make it look. But if Americans, with their intel, feels like nothing is being done, there is no amount of propaganda that is likely going to avert what is coming. I don't think so. But the only solution to me, even to this man, is this.
Well, what I actually want the government to do, the government at both ends, is to approach this matter with sincerity of purpose and with candor. From the Nigerian end, the narrative has been that there is no religious persecution, no religious group is targeted. That is not entirely true. It is also true that the government is not directly responsible for any act of violence against Nigerian people. That has to be very clearly established. That the insecurity in the country is caused mainly by the activities of non-state actors that the government is opposed to and that the government has tried to find a way to combat in the past 15 years. These are the facts. I wish that the government sticks to the facts so that the Americans can see us as serious-minded, sincere, so we can work together to tackle this problem. I have seen how government officials in the past couple of days and weeks have labored to explain the fact, to explain that violence in Nigeria is not targeted against any particular group. It's just random. It kills everybody and all that. Let me put things in context. There are various groups attacking people in Nigeria and killing people, causing violence. Some of them are simply criminal terrorists, economic terrorists who are killing everybody, kidnapping everybody to gain economic advantage. Those in Zamfara, Sokoto, and the rest who are trying to cordon off where we have gold and other minerals, creating insecurity to be able to have access to these things. They belong to this category. They don't have respect for anybody. They kill anybody along the line. But there are also groups that are targeting Christians. We must admit that. If we don't admit that, it will show insensitivity to Christians. It will also show lack of seriousness to tackle the problem. I mean, the attacks against people in Benue, in Plateau, Southern Kaduna, a whole lot of them are targeted against Christians. They kidnap priests, they kill them, they attack churches, burn them down, kill people. They choose religious holidays, Easter, Christmas, and attack. And, there is no way anybody can try to explain that away. The story is told, for instance, of the Abdullah Abubakar, I think is his name, in Plateau, the imam who shielded Christians in 2022, that, the late President Buhari gave a national award. These were Christians that were attacked. Before the man shielded Christians, they had killed over 100. And the man was able to shield them, gave them protection, which was why he was praised. But if we are to reverse the trend, if the man were not an imam, if he were a pastor, he would have been killed. He would have just been among the casualties. And there are so many other instances of that, Christians are targeted. Sometimes even when they kidnap people randomly and take them to the bush, they try to get them to convert to, Islam. Some of them who are Muslims, they are given fair treatment. Some of them are even released. Those ones that refuse to, convert, they are either killed. I mean, Shaibu and all the other ones are, Leah Shaibu, and we know the story is, in the public domain. So we must admit the fact that Christians are targeted by some groups. Okay. There are also some groups who also kill people indiscriminately across the country. Like when we move to the southeast, for instance, the threat against the ordinary man in the southeast is not the same as the threat against a policeman in the southeast. There is particular target against security officials in the southeast. It is true that they are killing everybody, but it's also true that they are also targeting security men and women in the southeast. If we don't admit that, we will also not be able to address the problem in the southeast correctly. Is this honesty and candor I wish the government adopts so that we can find a solution to this problem and then address it. Okay. Then from the American end, if it is to protect lives of Nigerians, including those of Christians, is the real desire. Military attack against maybe some targets, maybe in Sambisa Forest, someplace in Borno and Yobe, will not be the solution. That would maybe degrade them to some extent. But we know the nature of terrorism. You have to be patient to be able to combat terrorism. You have to work with those who know the terrain. The Americans alone cannot do so. The plan to come and just attack some places where you have terrorists and all that will also not be the solution to the problem. So a synergy between Nigerian government and, other foreign agencies, that countries that want to assist, including the US, will be the way to go. Denial on the part of Nigeria is not the right approach.
Okay.
A random attack on the part of the US against some terrorist camps and just ending it there will also not be the solution. So there has to be a way for the two sides to work together. So solution.
The best way for the two sides to work together, in my own humble opinion, is that Nigeria government must actually show the willingness, not just all this shooting. The sponsor of terrorism in Nigeria, they are known. And when I say known, they are known to the same security agents. So how do you tackle that? When America comes